All right, like I said, it's already New Year in two countries. Australia and New Zealand have rung in the New Year. It's been a tumultuous year which has weighed down on so many of us. Unprecedented, unexpected, and also we've seen in it hope, resilience to move forward. Many of us extremely happy to say goodbye 2020. India counting down to the new year, with most metros in curfew. While Goa, India's party capital, flush with 45 lakh tourists living it up, but with a night curfew. India will ring in the new year, with its capital's Delhi borders playing host to the 35th day of the farmer agitation. Plummeting temperatures while raining misery on these protesters are proving to be a delight in our upper reaches. There is no easy way to sum up the year we've had. It's been terrifying. It's been tumultuous. It's been grief-ridden. But it's also been heroic, resilient, and hopeful. It's been a year filled with the unpredictable, and we are glad to see it pass. Goodbye 2020. It's a relief you're done and dusted. Completely. Goodbye 2020. We are glad you're done and dusted, and we are glad we're here to actually see you pass. We're going to cut across to our reporters across the country who've been going to be picking up the mood right now. Most metros, viewers, have a night curfew. So if you're looking at stepping outside, do not stay where you are and celebrate New Year's if you are with close family and people with your mask firmly in place. I'm going to be cutting across to our reporters. I have Nolan Pinto. He's joining me from Bengaluru. He still has a burst of light behind him. I have Pramod, who's getting us the very latest from Chennai. I have Abhishek, who's joining us from the Singhu border, because mind you, it's the 35th day of protest and lakhs of farmers knocking on Delhi's doorstep, sitting in protest there for 35 days, will be bringing in the new year in temperatures, viewers, which are 3.3 degrees Celsius. Today, Delhi's recorded its lowest temperature in 15 years. I also have Aishwarya, who's going to be picking up and getting us the mood on what the rest of Delhi is doing, celebrating, because Aishwarya, if I'm not wrong, this morning the dampener, which was expected and many have welcomed it, came in the form of a night curfew from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 31st and 1st in Delhi. So Aishwarya, where are you right now? What are you witnessing? A lot of restaurants, hotels which had planned parties had to cancel it last minute, but in a way, a lot of people welcoming this because this is, unexpected, unprecedented times in midst of a pandemic.
Well, definitely. I'm standing in Connaught Place, which for many is the heart of the national capital. You can see the barricades are up. The police is all ready to put up the barricades at 8 p.m. because that is what will happen in Connaught Place. If you try to enter Connaught Place after 8 p.m., you will not be allowed entry. There is a night curfew from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. The administration is up in arms. The Delhi police has deployed special units. They'll be going into restaurants and all those places which already have the license, mind you, to check whether people are wearing masks, whether there is social distancing. A lot of people, in fact, have welcomed this decision. Connaught Place at the moment, as you can see, there's a lot of traffic here. Most of the people are now trying to get inside the places which they have already booked. Restaurants are full, but yes, everything will come to a halt at 11 p.m. The simple reason is because the administration does not want a spike in numbers. Now, Preeti, if you remember, we did see this after Diwali, just after the festivities got over. The national capital saw a spike in the number of active COVID cases, which is something which the administration does not want now, which is why you will see the entire Delhi shutting down between 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Today, the barricades are up there too. The barricades are up here too. The Delhi police personnel here making sure the people are moving away, making sure everything is in line from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. There is a night curfew in the national capital today.
You know, Aishwarya, stay on with me. I'm going to come right back to you. So, like most metros, it was last minute for Delhi, but we too have our Cinderella hour, which will begin at 11 a.m. and not 12 midnight. It's cold in Delhi. We've recorded the coldest temperature, day temperature of 3.3 degrees Celsius, viewers, in 15 years. Shuja, it might pale in comparison to where you are because you're practically witnessing a white New Year. But we're rather cold at 3.3 degrees Celsius. What are you witnessing around you?
Well, yes, Preeti, you know, in terms of the cold, there is absolutely no comparison between what we are witnessing here in Kashmir and rest of the country. You know, last night in Srinagar in itself, the temperatures were recorded as low as minus 5.9. You know, if you talk about upper reaches and hill stations like Gulmarg, Pahalgam, the temperatures have gone down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. You know, while this is expected at this point of time, but you know, weather like this towards the end of the year also would usually bring a lot of joy, at least for the tourism industry. But this year it has been subdued because of the COVID-19. In fact, for Kashmir, it has been a double whammy. You know, 2019, most of the tourism, you know, went away because of the aftermath of the action on Article 370 and the special status, and now this year the tourism industry has been hit by COVID-19. There's a little bit of relief for people living or working in hill stations like Gulmarg, Pahalgam, where some tourism is picking up. Winter tourism is rather than picking up, but overall, if you know compare it with the years that have gone by, it does seem to be lacking the all that enigma that it used to. So absolutely a subdued temperature in these sub-zero conditions in Valley as well.
All right, well, subdued festivities in the valley as well. But what is worse is also what Delhi's borders are witnessing, because 3.3 degrees Celsius, and Abhishek, our farmers there who've been protesting now for the 35th straight day would actually be ringing in the new year in these cold temperatures.
Well, yes, Preeti, this farmers' protest is certainly the biggest story of the decade, the last biggest story of the decade. There are thousands of farmers still in their camps, in their makeshift accommodations, and this entire stretch of Singhu border until deep inside about 6 to 7 kilometers in Haryana is occupied by all these farmers. There are children, there are elderly people, and there are women also are participating in this protest, and they have refilled their ration and they are ready to stay here till their demands are not met, till the farm laws are not repealed. The last meeting with the farmer union leaders, with the government, was a kind of icebreaker. You saw the union ministers breaking bread with the farmers. So there is still hope that till the next meeting can be fruitful. But as of now, the farmers are at the Singhu border of Delhi, the Tikri border of Delhi, the Ghazipur border of Delhi, and the Delhi-Noida border. So from all directions, the farmers are here, and it's cold out here at Singhu border. It is, you know, there are many trees here. It is an open area. It's a highway, so it's very cold rather than the parts of the metro cities, and it's windy also. So in such conditions, the farmers are holding their ground, and they are here, and they are saying that they will not go back till the farm laws are repealed.
Right. Well, save a thought there. I'm going to continue to come back to you, Abhishek, through the course of the next 1 hour. Maybe you can get us some visuals from the Singhu border live right now. Nolan, lots of lights at the back, but Bengaluru also shutting down at 11?
But in fact, let me put this way. I'm not standing at this place that I'd really love to be, that is Brigade Road, MG Road. So I've decided I like lights, and that's the reason I've come to this place, which is known as the Commercial Street. Anyone in Bengaluru who wants to shop will come over here. Preeti, next time you come to Bengaluru, you should check this out. So that's why I've come over here, because this is one of the only places that is actually lit up in the city. Now, what is happening is this. a lot of restrictions. Section 144 has been imposed from 12, in fact from 12 in the noon, it will go on till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. What the government does not want is that people should actually while away their time outside. In fact, even on this particular road, what we are told is that by around 8 o'clock onwards, the police will will come over here requesting all the shopkeepers to shut their shops so that people can, if they want to celebrate, please head back to your homes. Now, it's not to say that people can't celebrate, especially in the areas such as Brigade Road, MG Road, Koramangala, Indiranagar. Those places, if you want to enter pubs or bars or restaurants, you won't be able to bring your vehicles there. They can continue with their normal businesses, but you will have to walk and you will have to have an e-invite or an e-pass telling the police that, yes, I have this pass with me, I can enter that particular place. Furthermore, people who want to, especially in their apartment complexes, want to celebrate, they can do so, but with no special events. So these are the rules being put in place to make sure that people are safe, and hopefully people actually do that and follow it.
All right, Nolan, coming right back there, but yes, the next time I'm there, like you said, maybe you can take me there and, the sights and sounds of Bengaluru. But Pramod, festivities right now in Chennai, what are they looking like?
Well, this is a different experience because I'm currently at a church in Besant Nagar, and this place, believe me, I'm just 4 feet away from the camera. And in a normal period during New Year, even last year, there'll be 10 people between myself and the camera. So that's how it would be jam-packed. Definitely not mathematically impossible, but that's the kind of crowd that would be here in this church at that point. But unfortunately, now I don't see that kind of situation over here. The people, maybe probably a maximum of 50 people in the entire church alone, and that's the kind of situation. Now, the state government had made it very clear that no kind of permission will be provided for any kind of celebration across the city, no public gathering at all. Otherwise, this place will be jam-packed. But this is a different experience to see, and 2020 on its own has shown us completely different year. But finally, it seems like the people are listening to the state, because even now the state is reporting 940 cases plus every day, of which 200 plus cases are from Chennai. People are definitely taking it seriously. Several people are wearing the mask, and the state government has said that one day's sacrifice of celebrations could help in keeping the pandemic at check, and that's what we could see. And to finish this, just a line from P.B. Shelley's an ode to the west wind. He said that if winter is coming, so would the spring. That way, everybody is waiting for hope, even though celebrations are curtailed for now.
Well, how forward everybody's looking to that spring, Pramod. We're going to come back to you. But everybody taking precautions right now in Chennai. In Goa, Pankaj, everybody's living it up, even though you have a curfew now.
See, as of now, it's not clear whether the curfew will be imposed or not. But what we could see, what we could witness, that the tourists who are here in Goa to enjoy their 31st, to welcome the new year, somewhere these tourists who are from all of the states of our country, they have forgotten about corona and they are violating the norms. They are not following the social distancing, and that is the point of worry. And that is what made the health minister, give a proposal to CM that curfew should be imposed during the night hours.
All right. So Pankaj, the curfew might not be imposed. You're actually telling us that. So Goa is only curfew on paper while the party is going to go on in COVID times, huh?
No, it's not clear whether the curfew will be imposed or not. It's a dicey situation. The discussion is going on. CM also said that yes, he has got the proposal, but he hasn't taken the decision. So curfew might be imposed from tomorrow onwards.
All right. Well, trust Goa to come up with this rule. There was supposed to be a curfew, but the Chief Minister hasn't taken a decision. We are already 7:30. And Goa revelers still haven't been told whether the curfew is going to be imposed or not. Well, very interesting. Saurabh Vaktania, it's very different in Mumbai. The curfew is being imposed in Mumbai. What are you witnessing?
For Mumbai, it's a curfew, and therefore the Mumbai police officials have imposed Section 144. Now, what does this mean? There is no stoppage to party, but today you have to party indoors. You have to be inside your home. Also, the parties which were happening at the terrace or the building compounds, that too is not allowed at all. Now, the place where right now I am standing is the most famous location of Mumbai. That's the Marine Drive. And let me tell you, by all the past years, if I must tell you, here there used to be a huge crowd of people who used to come with their families and friends. There used to be music and lot of fun. Now, there used to be a huge bandobast by the Mumbai police officials as well. And when the clock ticked at 12 a.m., the firecrackers would be bursting over here. But today, look at the situation. Yes, there is crowd, but the Mumbai police officials are very clear that after 11, they won't allow the crowd to gather over here. Due to Section 144, not more than 4 people are allowed together. So in Mumbai today, it will be a very silent type of New Year because of all the restriction. Now, very importantly, for the drink and driving. So if a person is found to drinking and driving, the breath analyzer test won't be conducted due to the COVID-19 situation. The suspected person will be directly taken to the hospital for blood test. Now, here's the new thing. If the person is found drinking and driving, not only he will be arrested, but the people in the car who are along with him inside that particular car, they all will be arrested under the IPC section. So such is the situation. Very tough guidelines and restrictions issued by the Maharashtra government and the Mumbai police. The only appeal right now is that yes, there is a curb, there is a slight dip in the coronavirus cases in Mumbai. Therefore, we have to take all the necessary precaution. Mumbai is known for its nightlife. Earlier, the party used to get along till 6 a.m. in the morning. But this will be the first time when there will be no parties. Be it restaurant, pubs, everywhere. Everything is banned this year. And therefore, you have to party at your home, staying indoors itself only.
All right, stay indoors. If you're with people, I hope they're very few, and do keep your mask firmly in place. I want to cut across back to Pankaj Khelkar because he has with him Dilip Parulekar, who's the former tourism minister. Pankaj, maybe you can ask him what is the confusion about and how is Goa going to actually conduct a safe New Year's when you have 45 lakh tourists partying during a pandemic?
Let me directly go to Dilip Parulekar. So what would you like to say? Discussion is going on that curfew will be imposed during night hours. Your health minister has given a proposal to the CM, Pramod Sawant sir.
सर आप देखेंगे तो दिस 4 डेज में इतना सारा टूरिस्ट गोवा में आया है. मेरे ख्याल से मेरे थोड़ा सा अनुभव है, इसमें से 8-9 लाख टूरिस्ट आज गोवा में है. बेसिकली ऑल द इंडियन टूरिस्ट आर हियर एंड जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दे नो दैट गोवा इज अ सेफ प्लेस ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड.
About the curfew being imposed, what would you like to say?
कर्फ्यू मेरे को तो मालूम नहीं, मैं तो सरकार में नहीं है. फिर भी इफ कर्फ्यू इज इम्पोज देन कर्फ्यू विल बी एट अ नाइट टाइम एंड दैट विल बी अ सर्टेन टाइमिंग. सो डे के टाइम पीपल कैन कम, टूरिस्ट कैन कम एंड दे कैन एंजॉय.
Is it practical that such an act or such a step by the government can be implemented when so many tourists are there in all of the corners of Goa and they are enjoying? Do you feel that your 9 to 10,000 police will be able to control around 10 lakh of tourists?
नहीं, सबका ऐसा है कि पहले से गोवा में शांत है और पुलिस भी उतना जबरदस्ती ये नहीं करता है कि रात के टाइम जो भी कोई मस्ती करने वाला है, जो भी नाके पे पूरा बंदोबस्त लगा है, उसमें से मेरे को लगता है कि गोवा इज अ सेफ प्लेस एंड पीपल ऑल्सो लेट देम कम. they let them enjoy in Goa, because everywhere, all over the world, all over the India, there is a pandemic है. लेकिन गोवा में बहुत सारा कंट्रोल है, बहुत सारा कम है, इसीलिए they wanted to come and enjoy. Let them enjoy.
Here, the former tourism minister says that the figures of coronavirus in Goa are very less. And yes, yesterday's figures were around 22 patients in the hospital and 124 total patients who are home quarantine. So the patients are less, but the floating population, that might cause the harm, because all of these states are having figures of coronavirus, and those patients are having some symptoms. If they come here and then they spread, then it will be a havoc.
And there are 45 lakh of them. That's the number of Indian tourists right now in Goa for New Year's. Just look at that sum, 45 lakh tourists. Let that sink in. You know, I'll ask all our reporters to stay on with us, where we're going to quickly dip in to that news report which was filed by Pankaj from Goa, where tourists across the country, 45 lakh of them, have arrived in Goa for New Year celebration. The state government has not issued a night curfew, and tourists are making the most of it because there's a fair amount of confusion. It doesn't seem there's going to be any night curfew today.
Seeing these visuals, you would be tempted to think the pandemic nightmare has ended. India's party capital is living up to its name. New Year's Eve 2020 has turned out to be the busiest day of the year, as tourists from across the country, 45 lakh, according to some estimates, have descended upon the stage.
Shacks are full, the dance floor is full, tourists are there, and the locals are happy. There's a broad smile on their faces. Now they are saying that since last 1 year, they have been experiencing, they had the lockdown, and so the business was also down. And now, because of Christmas and now New Year, they have got the chance to earn, and that is the reason when they've got this opportunity, they don't want to miss it. They are welcoming, they are there to welcome the guests, and the tourists are there to enjoy.
Cafes, beaches, flea markets, tourists are everywhere, and they're making up for all the travel they've lost this year. Some are here to shake off the stress.
अभी कोविड सिचुएशन को देखते देखते तो अभी साल निकल रहा है, तो अभी हम उसको थोड़ा सा साइड में रखते अभी फ्रैंक होने के लिए और टेंशन को रिलीज करने के लिए यहाँ पे रिलैक्स होने के लिए आए हैं.
While others are here to ring in the new year with a blast. The local administration, after missing out on its primary source of revenue for most of the year, is cashing in. It, however, urges everyone to follow COVID norms.
और गोवा एक ऐसा शहर है जो भगवान ने देन दी हुई है, और इसकी नेचुरल ब्यूटी जो है वो भगवान ने हमको स्वर्ग दिया हुआ है. टूरिस्ट आ रहे हैं, वो SOP और MHA फॉलो करके, रूल्स फॉलो करके यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, एंजॉय कर रहे हैं.
Goa seems to be the only state which has opened up to revelers in a big way. Most states have imposed restrictions or banned public gatherings. With Pankaj Khelkar in Goa, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, as much as one doesn't want to play party pooper, but did you see one of those revelers with a mask there, because it was difficult to catch one? We're going to come back to our battery of reporters who are getting in the very latest festive spirit only in Goa. It seems the rest quite a dampener, because especially the metros are going to go into a lockdown from 11 p.m. Well, India is all set to welcome 2021, and cities across the country have put in restrictions to celebrate the new year. Majority of metros have imposed night curbs, while Goa is witnessing a massive tourist influx. Here's more.
It's a new year like never before. The coronavirus pandemic and the new virus strain from United Kingdom have spooked more states. India's big metros have enforced wide-ranging restrictions on celebrations. The night curfew from 11 p.m. continues in Mumbai. No public gatherings allowed. Hangout spots like Marine Drive, Bandra Bandstand, Juhu Beach are under close watch. The government wants citizens to stay at home instead of crowding pubs. The big relief is restaurants are allowed to deliver food after 11 p.m.
The Delhi Disaster Management Authority has imposed night curfew in national capital, which means that this year the New Year celebration is going to be low-key. Now this night curfew will start from 11 p.m. and it will remain in effect till 6 a.m. in the morning. This will be in place on 31st of December and 1st of January.
Delhi sprang a surprise on revelers. The state took a last-minute decision to impose a night curfew on both Thursday and Friday. All celebratory events, congregations and gatherings at public places from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. are banned. No vehicles are allowed to enter Connaught Place after 8 p.m.
Because last year we did almost 500 people. They were partying, chilling, eating, drinking and all that. But this year, because of COVID, we have restricted our number of seatings. So I would say not more than 130 people, because the entire restaurant can take up to around 250 seating in terms of, the seating plan.
India's IT city logs out at midnight. The state government has imposed Section 144 that bans public gatherings from midnight to 6 a.m. The restrictions continue on January 1st as well. Chennai has closed Marina Beach till 6 a.m. on Saturday. All celebrations stand banned.
Several restrictions have been imposed in the city of Chennai, considering that no kind of public celebration will be allowed for New Year. In fact, this is a junction called Marina Junction, where thousands and thousands of people would gather every New Year's Eve, that is 31st December of every year, celebrating and welcoming the New Year. But this time it's going to be entirely different. This beach and this area is completely cordoned off.
Goa is open. The tourist hub is jam-packed with about 45 lakh visitors. The government has made it mandatory for party goers to wear masks and observe social distancing.
31st पे अभी तो कुछ देखा नहीं, होटल वाले जो भी अभी सजेस्ट करते हैं, बाकी बीचेस पे ही रहना है रात को भी, और थोड़ा टीटोज लेन के बारे में सुना है, वहीं पे ही घूमना है।
अभी कोविड सिचुएशन को देखते देखते तो अभी साल निकल रहा है, तो अभी हम उसको थोड़ा सा साइड में रखते हैं, अभी फ्रैंक होने के लिए और टेंशन को रिलीज करने के लिए यहाँ पे रिलैक्स होने के लिए आए हैं।
Muted celebrations ring in the new year. India now hopes for a COVID vaccine that will bring back life to normal. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's quickly get in a word from all our reporters. Aishwarya, what does it look like in Delhi? You're at Connaught Place. We could see those barricades at the back. Are things looking festive? Are people being careful? Because they have at best another hour and a half before they have to get back home.
Well, let me tell you what the police preparations look like. An entire van has been put here in Connaught Place. The van is being moved. A lot of police personnel here in Connaught Place. The barricades are up. In fact, the number of police personnel in the last half an hour has increased dramatically. The reason is, after 8 p.m, you cannot enter the heart of the national capital, which is Connaught Place.
Aishwarya, what if you're caught after 11 o'clock on the roads of the national capital? So is there a fine? What happens if you're caught?
Well, let me tell you, there are two things. If you are moving from the national capital to other places like Noida or Ghaziabad, there is no problem in that, provided you are following all the SOPs, which means there should only be 4 people in your car. You should always be wearing your mask. The other thing which will happen is only those places which have license, only those places are being allowed, but that too only till 11:30. After that, the entire national capital, the entire Delhi region is under shutdown. The police, if they think you are drinking and driving, will not take your analysis. They would rather take you to a hospital, and a full medical test will be conducted, and after that a fine will be levied on you. The number of police personnel tell you the kind of preparation which the Delhi police has done, especially in Connaught Place. This is the place where most of the party was supposed to take place, but from what we understand, a lot of cancellation has taken place, especially after the night.
All right, so if in Delhi, Aishwarya, you're cut out 11 p.m. after, and you're not just passing through the capital but caught partying, well, you've got to pay. And heavily for that. That is what Aishwarya is saying. Saurabh, what is the fine in Mumbai? If after 11 p.m. you're actually caught out on the roads, what can one expect?
So there were a lot of pressure on the Mumbai police and government itself that why night curfew from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. So later on it was relaxed. Let me tell you that after 11 p.m. you can travel in the city. There is no restriction. But in the four-wheeler there should not more than 4 people, and on 2-wheelers not more than 2 people. Now, this is the whole rules and guidelines which has been applied throughout the city. Now, importantly, the place where right now I am standing, it's the Marine Drive, and also such places like Juhu Chowpatty, Girgaon Beach, be it Bandstand. At such places, the police won't allow crowd together. So what will happen is, after 11 p.m, if crowd is seen by the police officials, they will ask them to leave to their homes. Now, also for the people in the drink and driving cases, they will be taken to the hospital where the test will be done. Now,
okay, Pramod, what about in Chennai? How does it look like in Chennai? What if you're caught post 11 p.m? What happens then?
Well, very clearly they have mentioned that be it like temples or churches or any kind of like business management area such as hotels or resort, everybody have to wind up by 10 p.m. For hotels, resorts and other places, it is mandatory. But for worship areas, they have requested. And even here, you could see that preparations are being done, post which like by 10 p.m., these organizations have also agreed to stop it. And the only thing here is that we don't have a specified curfew. However, like public are not allowed to gather in any location. If such a thing occurs, action would be taken under the pandemic law, and that it seems to be like the state has very clearly mentioned that it would be severe.
All right, so it would be severe where Chennai is concerned. Nolan, Bengaluru, what if you're caught out post 11 p.m?
Well, in fact, 11 is the time that everyone has to head home, regardless of where they are partying or what they are doing. Now, this is the information that we're getting from the police. Close to 700 teams have been set up in 700 locations to check for drink and driving. Close to 200 Naka Bandis have been set up to control antisocial elements. Police are patrolling the entire area. What they say is very simple. Section 144 is imposed. If you're out after 11, unnecessarily driving around, you will be taken, action will be taken against you under penal provisions of Section 144.
All right. I want to just get in a word very quickly from the Singhu border. Abhishek, there were a lot of politicians who were going to, go to the Singhu border today to, in solidarity, sit in with the farmers on the New Year. Is that happening at all? What are you seeing?
Well, Preeti, Singhu border is the flashpoint, and farmers here, the entire farmer unions here, they are agitated. So at many places there are too many stages out here. So at many stages the announcements are going on, some religious programs are going on, and the politicians who are visiting these places are sometimes not welcomed on certain stages. So this is a very clear kind of agitation by the farmers. They are saying that they don't want any party flag inside their protest, and that is why such kinds of incidents are also being witnessed. And now, Preeti, I must tell you, the wind has also started blowing, and the weather is, the temperature is dipping now. And since it is a very, it has a very heated past since last 36 days, these farmers are here. There are some hostilities when we try to interview the farmers there. So we have been asked by the police to stay at least 50 meters away from the protest site.
All right. Well, our heart does go out to the farmers at this point of time. It is cold, but hopefully we'll see a resolution on the 4th of January because the government is meeting the farmers again. Shuja, I think there are curfews across metros, but for you it's going to be a cozy New Year with your keva and your razai, because Srinagar, it can't get prettier.
Well, yes, it's slightly different from what the rest of the country is feeling at this point of time. There certainly are not a lot of restrictions with regards to COVID-19. There are definitely guidelines that have been issued which continue to be followed by most of the people, but it is cold, which is more at this point of time predominant. As was pointing out last night, we had about minus 5.9 degrees temperature, and today also it's very cold. I'm in fact shivering here, standing outside. As far as the New Year celebrations are concerned, they're completely subdued. We haven't had a lot of tourism this year. A little bit of it is being reported from hill stations like Gulmarg, Pahalgam, where some people have definitely made their way towards thinking that it will be a better place to bring in the year to 2021. But overall, the picture does look grim for the industry, for the people, their economy. It has been a difficult year. In fact, last 2 years have been difficult in the valley. The hope is only that 2020 will at least bring some cheer to their faces. Everybody definitely waiting for the good news that vaccinations would be started.
Well,
for now, it is cold, sub-zero temperatures and subdued celebrations.
Well,
certainly.
you couldn't have put it better. We're hoping for a better year. Things not good in terms of the tourism, in terms of the economy. Where Srinagar is concerned, it's very cold. It's minus 5.9 is what Shuja says. Shuja, we won't keep you long. Please go inside and you have a good New Year, because Pankaj Khelkar is going to party it out for all of us. He's in Goa with his mask firmly in place. Pankaj, what are your New Year plans? Because out of all of us, you're the only one who has plans today.
Priti, I am at a place where party is in full swing, but can you imagine I'll have to party with my mouth shut. So if I have to open my mouth, then there are chances of getting infected. So there is very less chance that I might be in public in that dance floor, on that dance floor, and not removing my mask. So I would rather avoid those all things and go to my room and then celebrate.
Right, well, shake a leg if you do get onto the dance floor from all of us, because we have nowhere to go. We're all going home, and I hope we're all going home, because that's the responsible thing to do. With that, appreciate you all for joining us. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.